Spiritual Gumbo, back to the basics. And we're just going to pick up where we left off. We were just speaking on the fact that if this was the woman made with Adam, there's a 230-year gap. So there's a large spate of time where all the things that took place with him and Eve could have happened, and the things with Cain and Abel also could have happened. Going forward, we're in verse 4. And the days of Adam, of which he lived after begetting Seth, were 700 years. And he begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Adam, which he lived, were 930 years. And he died. Now Seth lived 205 years, and begot Enos. And Seth lived after begetting Enos 707 years. And he begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Seth were 912 years. And he died. And Enos lived 190 years, and begot Canaan. And Enos lived after begetting Canaan 715 years, and he begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Enos were 905 years, and he died. And Canaan lived 170 years, and he begot Malaleel. And Canaan lived after begetting Malaleel 740 years, and he begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Canaan were 910 years, and he died. And Malaleel lived 165 years, and he begot Jared. And Malaleel lived after begetting Jared 730 years, and he begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Malaleel were 895 years, and he died. And Jared lived 162 years, and begot Enoch. Now we're going to stop for one moment. We do have to realize that Malaleel lives the shortest of all the men outside of one Lamech. Now, why this is important is because that could be an indicator of traumatic life events. If in the days of Jared the angels came down, that could have been something that very well shortened up the life of Malaleel. Complete shock, things like that. Saying that, did anyone take note that Cain had children way before Adam ever had sons and daughters? Did anybody take note to that last one? Because if you did, that means that there were already people before Adam and Eve, right? It's really simple. It's not a complicated thing. And he built a city. It's the first city ever. And it comes from the ability to learn, the ability of knowledge of good and evil. However, we're going to go forth. And Jared lived 162 years, and begot Enoch. And Jared lived after his begetting Enoch 800 years, and he begot sons and daughters. And all the years of Jared were 962 years, and he died. And Enoch lived 165 years, and begat Methuselah. And Enoch was well pleasing to God after his begetting Methuselah 200 years, and he begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Enoch were 365 years. And Enoch was well pleasing to God, and was not found, because God translated him. And Methuselah lived 167 years, and begot Lamech. And Methuselah lived after begetting Lamech 802 years, and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Methuselah he lived were 969 years, and he died. And Lamech lived 188 years, and begot a son. Come on. And he called his name Noah, saying, this one will cause us to cease from our works, and from the toils of our hands, and from the earth, which the Lord God has cursed. And Lamech lived after begetting Noah 565 years, and begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Lamech were 753 years, and he died. Listen to that. He lived 753 years. Either he had different genetic pattern, or when Noah was born, how extreme that was, sapped years off his life, just like that. I'm not sure. I could speculate, but I mean, I think I really know, but there's no need to put forth that information right now. We're just going to keep reading. And Lamech lived after begetting Noah 565 years, and he begot sons and daughters. And all the days of Lamech were 753 years, and he died. And Noah was 500 years old, and he begot three sons, triplets, Sem, Cam, or Kaf, and Japheth. And it came to pass, when man began to be numerous upon the earth, and daughters were born to them, that the sons of God, having seen the daughters of men, that they were beautiful, took to themselves wives of all whom they chose. And the Lord God said, My spirit shall certainly not remain among these men forever, because they are flesh. But their days shall be 120 years. Now giants were upon the earth in those days, and after that, when the sons of God were wont to go unto the daughters of men, they bore children to them. Those were the giants of old, the men of renown. Now stop right there. If you read the book of Enoch, you come to understand that the giants lived longer than 120 years. So this 120-year indicator is the time that men are supposed to live. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not sure if this is a literary device, right? Or if this is when the Most High God is explaining to Moses, like the actual why people don't live that long now, because all these people have these tainted genetics. It could be a lot of different little things, but in faith, when I read it, what I read is the understanding that this is how the environment came to being the way that it is, because he's speaking to Moses. And I find it very important to remind you of this, that until we get all the way through the book of Deuteronomy, this is all information that one Moses collected by being at the top of the mountain. Carrying on. Verse 6. And the Lord God, having seen the wicked actions of men were multiplied upon the earth, and that everyone in his heart was intently brooding over evil continually, then God laid it to heart that he had made man upon the earth, and he pondered it deeply. And God said, I will blot out man, whom I have made from the face of the earth, even man with cattle and reptiles, with flying creatures of the sky, for I am grieved that I have made them. But Noah found grace before the Lord God. And these are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man, being perfect in his generation. Noah was well pleasing to God, and he begot three sons, Sem, Cam, Japheth. But the earth was corrupted before God, and the earth was filled with iniquity. And the Lord God saw the earth, and it was corrupted, because all flesh had corrupted its way upon the earth. And the Lord God said to Noah, A period of all men is come before me, because the earth has been filled with iniquity by them. And behold, I destroy them and the earth. Make therefore for thyself an ark of square timber. Thou shalt make the ark in compartments. Thou shalt pitch it within. Thou shalt pitch it within and without with pitch. And thus shalt thou make the ark. 300 cubits of length of the ark, and 50 cubits of breadth, 50 cubits the breadth, and 30 cubits the height of it. Thou shalt narrow the ark in the making of it, and in a cubit above thou shalt finish it. And the door of the ark thou shalt make on the side, with the lower, second, and third story thou shalt make it. And behold, I bring a flood of water upon the earth, to destroy all flesh, in which is the breath of life under heaven. And whatsoever things upon the earth are upon the earth shall die. Spiritual Gumbo, out.